I started out with researching how we can engage audiences with news. And that if you look at the three top things for the future, it will be mobile, mobile, and mobile. So it is a problem now in terms of how do we negotiate this overwhelming amount of information? How do we communicate it in the educational world, let alone journalism? So I try to write down a list of what I think are the key components for students to know as they contemplate a career in journalism. The first thing is knowing how to research. Then you've got the media involved, and you have to know all of the media. And then finally, you're going to interview people. When we talk about mobile journalism, we still have to keep in mind and differentiate two different types of journalism. There's the breaking news versus the long-form journalism, which by definition would appeal to the audience that has a specific interest. So once we are able to differentiate between long-form journalism and breaking news, the big question is, how do I package it for the audience? If in fact you know it is not long-form journalism and that we are going to quickly assemble multimedia for either consumption on a mobile device or on the web, I personally think that we have to change radically what we're doing right now and incorporate four major things, which I call the PIC model for news consumption. Personalization of the content. Interactivity doesn't mean just reading, it doesn't just mean clicking on the video. It truly is getting the news consumer involved with the content so they can extract what they need from maybe a graphic or a poll, data visualization. The third one is really coherence, but I call it contiguity just because we're not talking about coherence in text, we're talking about assembling multiple things in one coherent story. It's not just writing a textual story, let's plug in the video, let's plug in that generic photo from the scene. The most effective way to communicate this content is to approach it as one coherent multimedia story and let all the elements be told so that this audience can look at exactly what they want from just that video. They may not even read the text, so each one has to stand independently to tell a story. The K in the PIC model is a kick-out. That means we as journalists want to avoid those things that terminate the attention of the news consumer. The key thing about the PIC model is that all four things, personalization, interactivity, contiguity or coherence, minimal kickouts, have to be simultaneous. All of those things have to occur at one time. What's the best example of personalization, interactivity, coherence, and minimal kickouts? Facebook. The reason why Facebook is a good representation of the PIC model. You are personalizing the page to the viewer, obviously. You are being very interactive with multiple media, which a news story should do. It's certainly coherent because it relates to everything in that person's life in terms of interest. And minimal kickouts, I mean, there are some ads now, but traditionally Facebook started with little or no kickouts. And so that combination, simultaneously presented to the audience, in my mind, represents the excellent model to communicate news. So why is mobile journalism so difficult for those learning it? Because we're not really used to making sure that the interviews that we're conducting are not open-ended and don't run 20 minutes. To treat your story as a collection of multiple clips from which you can pick the main clips that you're going to use. So when you go out and you have this mobile device, you have to have a mobile mindset. You have to know before you get to that location, here are the rules specific to the mobile environment.